Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations. Much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Chayin Apash coming at you with another lesson. And this lesson is going to be entitled A Beef Farmer, right, calls Trump delusional. Okay, a beef farmer calls Trump delusional. Okay, and basically, you know that this guy. Well, I'm going to show you the guy on the screen soon. He's he voted for Trump, but you can see that he's being disappointed. He's been betrayed, and he didn't understand what Trump's role is. Trump's role is not for the people, and it's not to make you Edomites great again. Okay, it's to feed the elites. All right. They're playing on the hatred of you Edomites towards Jake and people of color. Right. But ultimately you're getting screwed over as well. Okay. And I'm gonna play it. And the farmers have been getting their ass beat, getting belt to ass since Trump has been in office. They have been getting belt to ass 100%, complaining the whole time. All right. So let's play this. But before I even play that, I want to read Isaiah, the 19th chapter, okay? Because this is the cruel Lord, okay? We believe that this is the cruel Lord, okay? This is Isaiah 19 and verse 3. It says, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts." And Trump is coming in that fierce spirit. He doesn't care what anyone has to say. It's his way or the highway. All right. And he's just saying, he just says whatever, he just bigs himself up in his heart. Where there's a scripture that says that they how do you say that? They exalt themselves in their heart. Basically, they just, he's bigging himself up. Everything he does, he bigs himself up. But anyway, so let's play this video. Okay. Let's play this video.
And on the promise of putting America first. But American beef ranchers are saying his latest move does the opposite. President Trump ran on the promise of putting America first, but American beef ranchers are saying his latest move does the opposite. On Wednesday, the White House announced plans to quadruple beef imports from Argentina at a lower tariff rate over the objections of American cattle ranchers. That decision comes alongside a $20 billion currency swap meant to prop up Argentina's struggling currency. Administration officials say the goal is to ease rising beef costs, but critics call it a political favor tied to Trump ally Argentinian President Javier Milei, whose party faces midterm elections tomorrow. Trump has even threatened to pull U.S. aid if he loses. Meanwhile, back at home, Trump's move is drawing rare pushback from across the political spectrum. Senate Majority Leader John Thune, who represents South Dakota, a major beef-producing state, told Semaphore that while the president says he wants to lower costs, quote, "this isn't the way to do it." Here's how American ranchers are responding.
I think probably what you've heard a lot today is we should just allow our markets to dictate the price of beef. I think most people out here have the view that the government should just be pretty limited and not kind of meddle in the free markets and let us handle it naturally.
Well, we are extremely concerned with the plan, but probably more importantly, we are just flat disappointed that this is the approach that the president has taken. We understand what he is trying to do, but what he does not realize is that in trying to bring the price of beef down for the consumer, it means he's going to bring down the price being paid for cattle for U.S. producers. So in effect, this is a direct attack on U.S. cattle producers.
And joining us now is the vice president of the South Dakota Cattlemen's Association and owner of Bieber Red Angus Ranch, Craig Bieber. Quick disclosure, my father-in-law is on the board of the South Dakota Cattlemen's Association. Craig, thank you for joining us this morning. One thing I have learned about beef ranchers, especially in South Dakota, but across the country, is that they just want to be able to do their work, right? They're not looking for handouts from the federal government, but they're looking for the federal government to not make it harder. And it seems like what the president is doing here is going to make work harder for cattlemen across the country. Your reaction?
Well, thank you for having me on, Eugene. I absolutely agree with what you said. I mean, the reality is that we want the government to stay out of our business. Our market signals work. We've actually headed into this by having lower supplies, and beef is not that high comparatively to everything else that we buy, that consumers buy. And so the reality is, we just want to be left alone. We don't want handouts. We're very independent, and what Trump's suggesting will actually hurt our markets more than it's going to help. And it takes a long time to affect the beef market because of the cycle of what it takes to raise calves.
Mr. Bieber, let me get your reaction to something that the president put out on Truth Social on Wednesday. He says, the cattle ranchers, who I love, don't understand that the only reason they are doing so well for the first time in decades is because I put tariffs on cattle coming into the United States, including a 50% tariff on Brazil. If it weren't for me, they would be doing just as they've done for the past 20 years. Terrible. It would be nice if they would understand that, but they also have to get their prices down because the consumer is a very big factor in my thinking also.
I think the president is delusional in the fact that, I mean, he had anything to do with these markets. We were headed into these markets because, we'd had a number of tough years with drought. We had eroded the cow herd, and we were.
So he said the president is delusional, that he thinks he has something to do with these markets, and he always speaks like that. Like the reason people are even able to eat or drink water is because of him. The only reason you're able to do this is because of me. He always speaks like that with that pride and that arrogance, And even this guy, this guy voted for Trump, okay? He's like, this is a completely a betrayal of what we voted for, man. Okay? Because this is going to heavily affect them. You're bringing in a beef from another Argentina at such a high rate. Obviously, it's going to affect their business. Okay? And he's trying to say he wants them to lower cost, right? So then guess what? They're gonna have to lose out on profits. All right. So clearly he's not America first, and everything he's been doing since the beginning of his presidency has not been America first. He's completely destroyed the soybean market. Right. Matter of fact, let's go into that. Soybean farmers affected by Trump. Let's type that in. Soybean market. Oh, so how about let's type that in. Soybean farmers affected by Trump. Right? So he called them straight up delusional. All right. Let's see if I can find something. Should I watch this one? Okay. Let's go to this one.
The Trump administration admits farmers are not doing well under President Trump's tariffs, most especially soybean farmers. The, quote, collateral damage, as Politico puts it, in the president's trade war with China. Since May, China has not purchased a single U.S. soybean, not a one, according to the American Soybean Association, turning instead to Brazil and Argentina. That last country there, one that the Trump administration decided to send a $25 million aid package, a bailout that could be backfiring, according.
And the head of Argentina, he's supposedly a small hat, okay?
To Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins. You just heard what she says to reporters in public. Well, here's what she says in private to other officials. She sent a text message to the Treasury Secretary last week while he was at the UN. Here is a picture of it. The message, photographed by the AP, showed Rollins worrying to Bessent, saying, quote, "We bailed out Argentina yesterday, and in return, the Argentines removed their export tariffs on grains, reducing their price, and sold a bunch of soybeans to China at a time when we would normally be selling to China," adding, "This gives China more leverage on us." Joining us now, Arkansas soybean farmer Scott Brown. Scott, good to have you back. Like to see you on that combine.
Thanks for having me, Katie.
All right, so I thought it was interesting seeing what Brooke Rollins said to reporters there at the White House and the way that she spoke to the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent. Why might she be so worried about the soybean market?
Well, like we talked earlier, we went from 12 billion to zero. And then, as a farmer, we get up one morning and you give Argentina, which is our second biggest competition in the world. They're the largest exporters of soybean meal in the world. So I get up one morning, I turn the news on, and you give $20 billion of taxpayer money to my competition. And then the Chinese buy, I think the figure is 30 or 40 containers, ships, which is about 65,000 metric tons per ship, which is like 2.2 million bushels. So they buy 12 or 14 billion dollars worth of soybeans from the Argentinians after the tax holiday. And here's the caveat to it. They give $2.30 over the November board, while I'm getting 50 cents under the November board. So that makes the Argentinian soybeans about $12.42 a bushel. I think that's the real figure they gave. So all my premium went.
Scott, I just lost you there at the end. You said your premiums go?
They all went to Argentina.
Yeah. All right. She says that don't worry. It's a time of uncertainty.
And I wouldn't be surprised if certain people, Trump and these certain people get kickbacks from that. What's going on with Argentina. All right. Because, Esau doesn't do nothing for no reason. All right. But hey, he could clearly see he's messing up the American farmers. All right. While he's helping, Argentina, he's really helping China. Okay. He's helping these other places and bailing them out and all these different things. And these farmers are suffering. Okay. Right. Not that we give a damn about these Edomite farmers anyway, because guess what? Jake's farmers have been suffering. Okay. They've been took the subsidies from Jake farmers. Okay. They've been struggling. So this is all judgment anyway, but it shows you that he's not for you. This is that cruel Lord, like we said. Okay. And I want to look up this word, cruel over here. The word for cruel. Hold on. Give me a second. The Hebrew word is quashah. Okay, quashah, which says hard, cruel, severe, obstinate, hard, difficult, severe, fierce, intense, vehement, stubborn. Yeah, this guy is very stubborn, man. All right, he says something, and then people tell him it's not true, and then he'll tell you it's fake news. Okay, he'll tell them it's fake news. They'll show him when it's not true, and he'll say it's fake news. So he's in the stead of the Pharaoh of Egypt, man. The Pharaoh of Egypt was very stubborn and stiff-necked because the Most High put it in his heart to be stubborn and stiff-necked. Let's get that in Romans the 9th chapter. Okay. Yeah. So Esau is going to go out similarly to how Pharaoh went out when it comes to his heart being hardened. Esau's not gonna yield to the Heavenly Father, even though he sees the plagues coming. Okay. This is Romans 9. In verse 17, it says, "For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I may shew my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth." Right? So he raised up Pharaoh so that he could show his name, so he can glorify his name through Pharaoh. That's the same way he's going to glorify his name through these Edomites, right? Through their stubbornness. Okay? Therefore, hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will he hardeneth. Yes, he hardeneth. He makes stiff-necked. He makes stubborn. This is what Trump is. Trump is very stubborn, and it's good because he's going to be stubborn up until the destruction of Babylon the Great. Okay, And that's good. You know, Trump, the elites, they're all going to be stubborn up until the end of this place. Okay. And you American people, you're going to find out, man, that you're trusting in a wicked, evil system that's not for anybody except for their own pockets. That's all they care about. This is why the system has to be ultimately taken down. This is Isaiah 36:6, and Yahweh Shai is going to be the one to take it down, right? And he's coming from the heavens. This is Isaiah 36:6. Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, right? The modern day Egypt is what is America. Okay, that's spiritual Egypt and Sodom. Whereon, if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. All that trust. So that includes you Edomites. Even these Edomites, they don't have Yahweh Shai. They don't have the Lord. These other nations don't have the Lord, but you know, they're in America. So who do they trust in? A lot of them, they trust in the government, okay, which is a broken reed that cannot be trusted upon. You trust in that, you're gonna end up screwed, and that's what you see happening. See, reality is starting to hit these farmers. Reality is starting to hit a lot of these American people. You have a lot of people that have that regret. The maggers, they have that regret. Okay, yeah, and some of them are still trying to hold on and fight, but they're gonna lose bad too. They're gonna lose bad. Okay. They're gonna lose bad. There's gonna come a point they're gonna say, this is I can't keep faking the funk. This is not for our benefit. Okay. Yeah. This is Proverbs 25:19. It says, confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. Yeah, you can't trust in Trump. You trust in Trump. You trust in these Edomites, period. Any of these government official Edomites, you trust in them, you're going to be very, very disappointed. Every year, every decade, it just gets worse, exponentially worse for you. And now it's every year it's getting exponentially worse. The prices are going way up. There's more taxes. There's more things that they're fine. You see what they work on? They don't work on making life easier for you people. They work on how can they fine you? What else can we pick to fine you? You know, and put the excuse as it's for your safety. You know, how much more speed radars can we put out there to catch these people speeding so we can send them more tickets to further oppress these people? It's not about helping you. It's never about helping you. It's all about oppression. The same thing as the ancient Roman Empire. It was all about, they were always figuring out ways how they could further tax the people. But don't you understand? The whole system is based upon evil, man. First of all, the Edomites are a people of evil. So how are you going to get righteousness from this system? And then all these other people that are in these other third world governments, they corrupt them. They force them to be evil. Because if they're not evil, right? If they try to do good for their people, guess what? They're going to be demonized and they're going to be taken out. Go listen to John Perkins, what he said, man, about the economic hitman. All right. This is 2nd Ezra 16, because this is what's coming. Ultimately, he's coming in with a police state, all right? And he's getting ready to kick in doors, and whoever's not with it, you know, with the system they're setting up, they're going to have to be taken out, man. You know, Revelations 13. But let's read this real quick. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 68. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. Right? So anyone that, if you try to trust in that broken reed, you're going to be had in reproach. Just understand that, in derision. But if Yahweh Shai ain't on your side, you really have no options. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. See? See that? Okay. They're coming for the men of the Lord. That's the main target. But all you people are going to get swept up in that. It's going to be a time like no other. Okay. They're going to lock down cities. Okay, you're not going to be able to go into certain cities. You're going to need a digital ID, which is eventually going to be what? Put into your hand or your forehead. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. And hey, it's coming. It's coming. Kicking in doors 2 a.m, 3 a.m, taking people out of their bed, putting them in a truck. Okay. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Yeah, the chosen of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai are going to go through the fire, and they're going to come out as pure gold. They're going to come out better. They're going to come out purified spiritually. Okay? So, yeah, so you Edomite farmers trusting in Trump and these things, you're gonna find, well, you're finding out now. But the rest of you Edomites and you people in general, you Jakes, especially you're gonna find out this devil is not for you. Okay. So with that, Lord willing, this is edifying to the elected. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations. Much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Shalom.